Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to Create Every Day in August. Today is August 26, 2020. We are almost done with Creator. For real this time, right? Last time I thought I only had X amount of days, but I was wrong. I want to attempt to make a card, and in doing so, we're going to need some dies as well as some stamps that I want to try. This is just Michael's 165-pound cardstock. And I'm just going to put these little ghosts on there. These ghosts are from Diamond Press. I saw them on the last HSN Craft Day and had to get them. I think I've discussed this before. You know, HSN used to do $5 shipping for all your craft stuff on Craft Day. And now they don't. Which I don't have a problem with it because I don't really go overboard in buying stuff from Craft Day. What I do have a problem with is that they charge you individually for things. It's not like a overall poundage. So they don't send you the stuff individually. And I am not a fan of that. I feel like if you're going to charge me individually, send my stuff individually. Just because, you know, you're being petty. Like it's like they're nickel and diming you for your shipping and handling stuff. So I don't really care for that too much. I don't think that's a good business practice. But so I think that's why I limit the things that I purchase. Like I never was like, ooh, I got to get everything. Even though I want everything, sometimes I don't buy everything. Like I'm not into buying some of the more fancier things I don't buy. So I don't go on there and be like, oh, I need to get everything. But some things I see and I'm like, oh, I gotta have it. Like this Halloween set. Like I like Halloween. I don't do a lot of Halloween crafting, but I like it because it's like the introduction to fall. I was reading something and how you know the seasons kind of beat up each other. You really can't enjoy one season because the next season or the next holiday is kind of like in the way it's like beating you up, right? So Halloween is 2 months away, and then Thanksgiving is the following month. But I saw this thing that says "Move Pumpkin." We haven't even got to something yet. Like it was like earlier this month, or either in July. I think a lot of companies are just kind of doing things that consumers don't really care for these days. So I'm using this punch of mine, and I'm only gonna punch out the pumpkin. And I feel like this is what paper punches were designed to do. We don't feel like running everything through your die cutting machine. But I guess punches were first, right, and then dies, in the sense of for crafters. But overall, I think you know, they probably had some die plates already, and then they just made them down into little punches. And I always try to make more than what I need, just because who wants to have almost a completed project and then you look and say, oh, I need 5 more. I'm not sure why this thing is folded either, but we're gonna see if we can't get a semi-solid pumpkin out of it. Yeah, I think that is good. I got this, I don't know how, I think I got this from Tuesday Morning when I first started being a Tuesday morning junkie. All right, so let's see if we can't make this card. So I used some cardstock from a paper pad. It's a Christmas paper pad, but I said when I used it before that you could use these patterns on anything, and since it's black and grayish, I thought that'd be really cool. And then this is the card base. It's kind of thin, but I'm gonna put another sheet of paper inside, and then we have this. So now what I need to do is build up the seam. first, I have this little cutout of these little kids trick-or-treating. And so what I want to do, if I can, because the dies that I'm using are too big to go into the Gemini Mini, and I don't want to go downstairs and cut out stuff because it's not really well, you can use your dies however you want to, but this is designed as a stacking card to be three-dimensional, but we're doing all flat stuff. So let's see. I do plan on inking up the edges, but that will be after I finish with the whole setup. So what I want to do, and maybe, you know, maybe the card is what I've designed, what I'm designing in my head isn't really going to be built for that, but I have this lady going through here, right? And then I have some gates or fences going through just like that. Then I have these ghosts. Now see, the ghosts may be a bit too much for everything. I have this cat, and I want the cat to sit on the fence. So we'll have to figure this out. And maybe she could be over here riding like that. We can move this over. Because if I use these little kids, all right, so I decided not to use the kids. I think I'm gonna use these tombstones. And so if I use the tombstones right here in this area of the card, I can kind of spook it out a little bit. I'm not, you know, I'm not big into spooky, but we're gonna try to do something, you know. Even though I don't do spooky, we're gonna try to do something. It doesn't have to be super spooky, because I don't think these stamps and dies that I have is super duper spooky. I'm using color cubes. It's lavender. It's a really pretty color on cream. Oh, and you see, I don't know. Yeah, did you see that? It's torn. These are old. I got them in a D-stash probably. So yeah, if this doesn't work out, we can always just turn the paper over. Okay, so we're going to do right here. All right. Oh, fudge. You see that? Let's see if I can't. All right. So we got that fixed. Now, I like that the shadows are casting that way. That way we could have our moon over here. Yay for the moon. And I think I'm just going to kind of work a little bit on the backward side, only because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I'm making a card, right? But you know what I mean. I don't know what I'm actually doing. So yeah, this is going to work out great. It's another die, a gate die, but I think this will be fine. Yeah. I cut out 4 pieces, and they don't have to be complete, because I could just move it over here, and then if I was real good, I could cut some of these out and we could show like people going into the cemetery doing crazy stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Like, you know, teenagers desecrate a lot of property, and like I cut those pumpkins out for no reason. I mean, not for no reason. This time it's a no reason, but next time it won't be a no reason. So we're gonna put that right there, just like that. And then let's get these little ghosts some face, and I think we're only gonna use a few, and then we'll be done. Like, it's a simple card. You know, I haven't watched a lot of slimline cards being made. I've only seen maybe three. And every time I see a slimline card or any type of card, I'm always inspired to do something, right? Okay, I don't like how that's stamped out, but that's operator error, not stamp. But anyway, you know, I don't always, I get inspiration from everyone, but I would say that I'm not like a ooh, I gotta try it type of person on everything that's coming out, just because I don't particularly care for all the new latest things. So you'll see me make maybe 3 or 4 more slimline cards, maybe. I have kind of moved on from the cards. Slimline cards, in my opinion, um, people are selling the thing, so I think they'll be around for a while because that is the latest trend. But so it's more real estate, right? It's a lot of real estate that you gotta work on. It's not just wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's a lot going on with that, this whole long sheet. All right. So like with the Slimline, they are selling dyes and things like that. I think maybe that's the one thing that I haven't like jumped on and got dyes. All of this is just looking at a business size envelope and going from there, which I'm okay with. So I guess once I learn more things, maybe when it's not popular, I'll go back and try and learn some stuff. But right now I'm okay with it. However, and also I don't think I'm a humongous fan of tiny stuff like this. I mean, it's cute, but it's so small for me. I think I just look a little bit larger because I think I'm always like concerned that I'm going to screw something up. But I'm okay with that. You live and you learn, right? So we're going to have her zooming up in the air. All right. It's this stamp that I really, 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 did I say really? I really want so bad. But they don't make it anymore. It's one on eBay, of course. But it's one on eBay. And like in the crafting community, for whatever reason, when things go out of stock or out of business, the price goes up because it now is a rare item. I'm going to cut a little bit of this yellow off. I'm going to put this behind the cat's eyes. So we can have them kind of look like the evil kitty cat that he is, even if he was the cutest little patootie on the earth. Cats are just... I have a kitty cat just in case animal people are watching, and my cat's name is Nicholas. I even have some videos of him just being, a cat, laying around doing nothing. But lately he has been in rare cat form. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to put this behind it to make sure I cut enough of it. I usually try to cut like a little triangle because that's how the faces are. And so I think I got enough. I'm going to put this dot. You can't see it because it's black on black. But right here, I'm going to put a drop of glue. So I got the little drop of glue on there. And I'm going to change up the little layout. I have this Fright Night stamp right there because that's where I want to put that sentiment. I really do like this stamp and die set a lot. A whole bunch. I'm gonna put him on top of this tombstone because cats do that kind of stuff. And maybe that's the cat's owner and it comes by every day and visits. Now, even though my cat is bananas, there are some very nice, calm, loving kitty cats out there. I've just never met any. All of my cats have been kind of spazzes, so that's why I always just equate cats to being spazzes, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am just gluing down the gate or the fence. And I think the next time I do this, I am going to use the other gate, I think. because I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to put this on straight, is what I'm saying, I suppose, because I want, you know, it's a raggedy, crickety fence, and it's supposed to be kind of spooky, but at the same time, you know, I don't want it to be too messed up because they've already got some of the planks off a little bit. So this is probably one of those graveyards that's not always kept up. And if you want to get fancy schmancy, you could probably layer, you know, you can put tombstone behind, so I can move this over. I don't have three in this stamp set. I don't have a different set of graves, which you don't really need. You get the point, right? And I hope I don't need another set of fence. So that's what I'm doing. So you can see how it's kind of like jagged, even though you don't need it to be jagged. It's already jagged in the artwork that they've given you. I just want it to be a little bit more jagged since I didn't put down the landscape, like a hilly area. All right, so I cut out these little pumpkins. I tell you, when I tell you I don't like working with tiny stuff, she don't like working with tiny stuff. And this is super tiny. And I have those little darling, little rubber darling LDRS or LDRS, little darling rubber stamps. Those things are super small, so I don't know if she gonna be able to do that. We'll see. I'm just inking up the edges because everything is kind of flat here. I meant to ink up my moon, but I think what I'm gonna try and do is get a yellow distress out. And no, I was gonna say give it a hue, but I'll be and messed it up, and then no, it's not just paper at this point. It's almost a complete project. And I would be so mad at myself. So we got the little pumpkin family hanging out. Some flat pumpkins. If you have kids, my son doesn't like this, but I think it's so cute. It's called Spookly the Square Pumpkin. And I love, love, love shows that teach morals. Because we're losing our values day to day. Just becoming absolute and total crazy people in general, right? And so Spookly the Square Pumpkin, they even have a little Christmas special when some cats. I thought the cat is weird because it's green with red socks, but it reminded me of the Cat in the Hat. So we're gonna go ahead and fold our little what is this thing called? Card base over, burnish it down. And I want it to be very ginger with this. I did not want this to fray up at all. And so now we can go ahead and put this down. And I'm just going to use, I hate to say it, but tape. No. I'm not going to use tape because the last time I used tape, I ended up having to do, especially on this thing, it was the same card style. I had to cut the thing off and redo it. And I don't have another card base. I only had one. So cards like this, you know, I usually try to make more than one, but cards like this I refuse to do a lot of unless I go out and buy some of those slimline dies, which I'm not going to do anytime soon at all. Unless it's something really, really cute, like something super cute, some froggies or something like that, or some nautical stuff. But I don't feel like I need a slimline die to cut out a border when I could just cut it out myself. Because the goal is for it to fit into a business envelope, right? Mine will fit into a business envelope. This would be cute as a easel card. I don't know if they have any slimline easel cards. You probably need some 12 by 12 paper for that. But just burnishing it down. And now let's go ahead and finish. Alright, so I put this Fright Night. I did have to ink that up a few times to get a good, you know, cast off or stamp off, you know, this thing, prime it or whatever. And so now I'm just using some foam tape And I am gonna put some ghosts around here. And maybe the cat's like upset because he normally comes out and hangs out on the fence, and now the cats are all out. I mean, the ghosts are out. Boo. And then you got these little happy-go-lucky pumpkins right here. I guess you could have made these sad faces too, right? Nope, still smiling. And so right here where I have put, is it gonna stick? Where I have put the fences together to create a longer one, I just decided to put that little ghost there because no one needs to know the tips, the tricks, right? We'll put another little ghost right here. The good thing about ghosts, you know, apparently they can go through walls and things like that. So if I really wanted to get fancy, I could have had one coming out, but do I only need 3? I only need 3. Okay, so this is our finished card. I love it. Would I say it was a lot of work? No, but it was a lot of die cutting and just trying to figure out how I was going to use this entire panorama for good use, good space. So this is the outside. I enjoyed making this card a lot more than I probably should. And I think that's why I like making them, because you can create a lot, but you just got to figure that part out, right? And then on the inside, I just put in a sheet of paper and I put the little witch. So in my head, you know, she's flying across and she's gotten over. And then when you open it up, she's at the end. So hope that you've enjoyed this Create Every Day in August. I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, happy crafting.